Maricar Limpin would like to be recognized, and then I'd like to also say something after.
Okay, please proceed.
Yes, thank you. In behalf of the Philippine College of Physicians, we would like to officially support a prohibition of any form of advertisement, promotion, sponsorships, or any marketing strategies, including internet or online selling. We have seen now the increasing use of e-cigarettes among the young, wherein the recent FNRI study have shown that 19% of our children aged 10 to 19 years of age are now using e-cigarettes. That means if you look at the proportion of e-cigarette smokers in the young, it is 3 times higher even, no, compared to those who are using standard cigarettes. These young people are now starting to really go into e-cigarettes, and as early as now, we need to put a stop to this pandemic. And we know that marketing, advertising, and promotions are one very effective means of reaching out to this young. The industry have said that are not targeting the young, and yet we see many of their activities, marketing activities, directed towards the young. So we do not want any form of advertisement, Your Honor, and I hope that we will consider this for the sake of our children.
Thank you, Senator Pia. You're now.
Yes, Mr. Chair. It's an echo. Someone's. Okay. I want to point out. Can you hear me? Because there's an echo. It might interfere with your understanding my. Okay. I just wanted to share also. Again, when I visited the UK, I wanted to do my own ocular inspection. No, so I was with my staff. We were there for a few days, and we kept forgetting. We were already in the airport, and we realized that we were never able to purchase or to even look at an e-cigarette product in the convenience stores. I'll tell you why. It's not that we did not enter a convenience store. We did. Siguro mga twice a day, you buy bottled water, whatever. We entered the convenience store a number of times each day. However, bawal ang point of purchase display. You cannot sell e-cigarettes there. So every time we entered, we did not we were not reminded, our senses were not bombarded with images of the products. And that is why I personally am such a strong supporter of no point of purchase display of products, because I experienced it myself. I had it on my to-do list. I was supposed to at least look at or maybe try to purchase a product, but I kept on forgetting because I could not see it. So that is why I feel so strongly about no point of purchase display. The second point I want to make is on advertisements, or sponsorships. My bill calls for a total ban. And the reason for this is you cannot differentiate between a 19-year-old who's endorsing it versus an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old or a 25-year-old. Come on. We all know that it is aspirational for the youth to look up to those older than them. Unlike, like I said, in the UK, where they have already cut the tie, they have made smoking undesirable for the youth, or so they claim, because they do not see any uptake at all. Okay? So unless we're at that point, the ban should stay permanently. So I was a little bit surprised when one of the resource persons from NCUP mentioned that the events, he mentioned vaping events. And I was like, what is the vaping event? Can we ask him to elaborate? Because what is the objective here? To promote vaping? Why would there be a vaping event? Again, if it is meant to be a cessation tool, by all means, go for it. Do what you have to do, but register, as FDA has already mentioned. Now, if this is a vaping event na merong kumakanta, na merong concert, what is the point?
I would like to get clarified on that. No? Yung mga vaping events, yan po ay mga ino-organize ng mga vaping community to welcome only vapers or ex-smokers to get oriented dun sa mga products na sino-showcase nila. ito po ay mga vaping events na ito ay gated events. Hindi po nila pinapapasok yung mga young looking o yung mga minor de edad na wala pa sa saktong edad. So ito po ay targeted events na para lamang po doon sa mga vapers. So yun po ang aking guys kung i-emphasize, maging ang mga vape shops meron na po silang sense of responsibility na sinusunod. Ay mga nasa counter, kilala ho nila yung mga customer nila. Kung nakakita ho sila ng bata, hindi ho nila binibigyan. Maliban sa ibang mga sitwasyon, natuto naman na meron din nagbebenta doon sa mga minor de edad. Hindi rin po maiiwasan yun.
Well, Mr. Chair, I'll leave it at that for now. No, I won't take it up now. But I think this kind of events have to be extremely regulated, because the reality there is they welcome new vapors, people who have never smoked before, and I've already seen it on social media. Na may post pa tagging a friend. Welcome to the vaping world. What's that supposed to mean? Welcome to a world that will also kill you, but in a different way. And there's no scientific proof that it's safe. So I take very strong. I have very strong objections about this vaping community events. But again, they could take that up the right time. I just post my objections right now.
Yeah, thank you.
Can we ask the Secretariat to note that, I guess for lack of time, the other resource persons were giving a thumbs up to my statement. Importante yan kasi it's like putting on record that they support it. They support the statement that I was making. So iiwan nyo na lang yung thumbs up nyo para ma-record yan ng Secretariat natin. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Pia. Let's move on. The next section is use in public place. Let's take that together with designated vaping areas. Okay. Any comments on use in public place, section 14, and designating vaping areas? Are there any comments? I suppose most are in agreement here. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. From Health Justice, Attorney Ben, we are in support of the proposal of the good Senator Pia Cayetano in terms of the regulation on the use of these products in public places, because there's a need to legislate regulation and where the products are being used, because the use of e-cigarettes should be absolutely banned in all public places. And this is also consistent with the statement of the President to ban the use of these products in public places, so as not to undermine the progress we already have in terms of our smoke-free campaign, Your Honor. And this is also in support with the smoke-free places should include vape-free places, Your Honor. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other comments on this?
Yes, Arnie Carino.
Yes, Arnie, please proceed.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Just background, in public place definition, smoking in public places has been sort of like, there's a lot of confusion. But if you look at the Tobacco Regulation Act for cigarettes, the definition of a public place is actually an enclosed area. And in that same law, there is an absolute prohibition in certain public places like hospitals, schools, food preparation areas, gasoline stations, stairwells. So there's an exclusive list. And we support that regulation. Our view here is that at the very least, the public place use restriction for heated tobacco products should be no more restrictive than provided for cigarettes. Because again, the approach, the policy approach here should be to encourage adult smokers who would otherwise continue to smoke to switch to these products. Now, if we try to limit the places where they can use these products, and while at the same time, those for cigarette use are more lenient, then they might just defer back to using cigarettes, and that's one thing that we want to avoid. So that's my first point. My second point, Mr. Chair, is that we don't want to put smokers and those who have switched to heated tobacco products in one room. Because we know that these products are fundamentally different. One has combustion, the other one has absence of combustion. So I hope that the committee can make sure that there would be different or establishments will be allowed to put up separate designated smoking areas and designated vaping areas. And then my last point, Mr. Chair, here is really on private establishments. Our view here is that private establishment owners should be given leeway to establish their own designated vaping areas. And again, the approach here is really to nudge those adult smokers who would otherwise continue to smoke to switch to heated tobacco products or vaping products. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Hardy. Thank you. Any other on this issue?
Yes,
Minority Leader Frank Dilon. Yes, please proceed.
yes, Mr. Chairman, just a question. For the purposes of implementation, shouldn't we have only one rule? If you cannot smoke in this place, you cannot vape in this place. Di ba mas simple? Kaysa, one rule for vaping, one rule for cigarette. If you cannot smoke here, you cannot vape here. You cannot have e-cigarettes here. You cannot have heated. So in other words, for purposes of implementation and easier enforcement, let's all have only one rule, whatever it is, applicable.
Yes. Right. Well, frankly speaking, most of the regulations here are written that way.
Yeah,
If you were to read the bill, most of the regulations here are written that way, no? So in the case of vaping areas and smoking areas in a private establishment, the only suggestion is that they be two separate rooms, if at all.
okay.
One for vaping and one for smoking. But there's no mandate. Walang pilitan. Okay. That's up to the private establishment. Any other concerns on this section? Yes, Dr. Lim.
Yes, I'd like to manifest, Your Honor, that we would like to we support the bill proposed by Senator Pia Cayetano, wherein vaping will not be allowed in any indoor areas, and that we have to be mindful of the research, scientific evidence that showed that the vape aerosol contains exactly almost the same chemicals that are also found in cigarette smoke. So, and this, among all these chemicals, this includes many that are known toxic and poisonous, as evidenced by the list of chemicals that have been found to be toxic and chemicals by the US FDA in 2012. And also, many of these chemicals, Your Honor, contain carcinogens. So, meaning these are cancer-causing agents, and therefore, what the industry would be saying that they are less harmful. Is no real evidence that will tell us that these e-cigarettes and these heated tobacco products are less harmful. The fact remains that all these products are still harmful and not safe, and therefore exposing our people to this vape aerosol smoke will not bring any good to the health of the Filipino people.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other? Dr. Doroteo, Dr. Gonzalez, and yes. So the two?
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I'd like to support Dr. Limpin and other health advocates in really emphasizing that it's when you allow the use of these products in indoor public places and workplaces and public transportation. rather than providing for an exclusive list, the protection should be universal because we have a universal right to health. And therefore, the prohibition on the use of these products should be an inclusive provision rather than providing an exclusive list. And even though there is reference to RA 9211, we actually are of the position that RA 9211 needs to be amended so that there is also a wider restriction of smoking in public places. And therefore, that should not be an excuse for us to restrict the use of ENDS and HTPs and make them less restrictive than for cigarettes. There are many problems with RA 9211. That's not a good comparison for regulating ENDS and HTPs. And if we prohibit their use in public places, this protects the public, and this is already scientifically proven, particularly by indoor air experts, including engineers in the US. And like Senator Drilon said, it is also going to ease the enforcement of these restrictions when there is only one rule where you cannot vape or smoke in public places. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. FDA Director Ana Rivera, thereafter, Ms. Giselle of Philip Morris. Please proceed. FDA Director Ana Rivera, please proceed.
Thank you, Senator. The goal of tobacco control has always been to quit, not shift. So we are sending signals here with the regulation that it's okay for smokers to shift, where in fact the hazards are still there.